classrooms that is using WolfVision technology. And one classroom is about 1 plus. We call it a 1 plus, meaning to say this is the master 1 plus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 plus 5. So for each classroom. So what we do here is that we actually got the client to actually give us the floor plan. Alright? So then for the user, it will be a lot easy to use them because, for example, if I want to actually show Group E's content from my lecturer projection, I just have to drag like that. Alright? So let's say if I want to show Group D, same thing, I drag. Then we show. Later Gary will show you how it works.
So you can show like different contents.
Yes. Then, not only that, let's say Group E want to go back to lecturer projection, can or not? Can. Same thing, you drag like that. So it will be bi-directional.
So the dragging is through this.
Yes, but you have to be a touchpad for you to drag. This thing must be a touch.
Okay.
So you don't go and buy a non-touch and then say, hey Larry, how come cannot move? Because your panel not touch. Right? So as an SI, you must remember, and then we will also encourage every panel that you connect to my machine, please use a touch screen. Because why? In our machine, you probably have whiteboard mode and all that. So you can also annotate. So if you're going to buy a non-touch, then don't call me. Because I cannot change the panel for you because I don't sell panels, right? So another thing is, let's say you want to broadcast. Can I don't always drag, very mafan, right? Very troublesome, right? So there's a broadcast button, pop, you press, then pop, everything will be showing the same content. Alright, so you'll make your life a little bit easier. And the third thing, let's say if I'm going to show a PowerPoint, so I can do an annotation, right? That means I draw a circle and all that. So can the Group E be seen? Can, right? So let's say I ask a question, very simple question. Let's say if the student draw Group E, right? Can it be shown on the lecture? How many say can? Can, Aaron? Can. Erica? You think can?
Yes.
Yes, correct. Can. That means even the annotation is two-way. Fantastic, right? So let's say if you have a discussion, if you have a discussion that requires the students to interact, so that will solve the problem. Because now our education actually encourage our students to be interactive, right?
Yeah. Right.
So this will definitely fit into their requirement. So, and that's the reason why we sold into Ngee Ann Poly. Because Ngee Ann Poly needs this. Alright? So, I'm going to show you the classroom. Exactly the same. So why you want to do that? Can anyone tell me why you want to do that according to the plan? And how many of you have this kind of clients? No, right? Okay.
Currently, I'm talking to SOSS.
Okay, no problem. So, okay, my background is I used to be a system integrator before I come to work as WolfVision as a manufacturer. Sometimes it's very challenging to talk to people that are above 50 as a lecturer because they kind of like very scared of technology. They are still in the days where you talk about whiteboard and marker and all that. So as much as you want to digitize the whole thing, right? Convincing them is another challenge, So you can always have the best technology in the world, but the usage, the user friendliness must also be there. But it's sometimes very difficult. I cannot have something that is very advanced and then it's easy to use. Not many electronic devices like that. But WolfVision proves that it can be done easily. That's why we actually get their floor plan to actually insert to our software. So that as a lecturer, right, when you want to use it, right, it will be the same as your classroom. So then, will it be easy? Yes, that's what I meant. So there's no need for you to label already, because the labeling, right, is from that software that the lecturer is using. So this is the powerful tool that our company produces. The software and the hardware combination. So in an SI point of view, there's no need for you to do programming really, correct? So programming is another price, right? And then the source code want to give to the client or not? Then there will be another headache, right? So everything will be given back to the client. And not only that, as an SI, as an integrator, let's say if I want to add another TV with another box, right? Do you think it will be very difficult? No, right? Because there's one more box, one more TV only, right? But that position that they need to actually add the thing must make sure they have the line point. That's it. The line point that connects back. That's all. There will be no headache of laying too much cabling issue. There will be no headache of reprogramming the whole thing again and then additional costs. So as long as the customer can save some money, you will get your deal, right?
So since you're on this picture, let me share with you some background story about this kind of setup. Now, this kind of setup is getting more and more popular in higher ed institutions like universities and polytechnics. Right? Gone are the old days where, during our time, especially those in the 40s and 50s, the way the teaching goes is always a one-directional. Because the teacher will just have a blackboard or whiteboard and he just write and teach. It's all throwing the information to the students. Nowadays, the trend is not like that. All right? The trend of teaching nowadays is that even the students are getting more participated and they are beginning to share and discuss on teaching lessons and they even have to present their lessons. So the idea of this setup here is that if you look at the classroom, it's very clean. Why? It's because you don't even need to see any of the equipment right inside. All you need is displays, okay? Each display behind is our box. How we mount this is because we have Kensington lock. We can just do a customized bracket. This box can be mounted on the wall and it's hidden behind the display. As you can see, these are 4 antennas that's pointing up, and these are. So a lot of people thought that the intelligence comes from the display. It's not. Display is just an interactive display, that's all. But the intelligence of this system comes from our box. Right? So during normal lessons every day, the teacher, the lecturers will be presenting from their own station. This is what we call as the lecture station. Okay? The students will normally now sit in groups of 5 or 6. And each group, they have their own display to do their own discussion. So when the teacher is not teaching, different groups will do their own discussion. And whenever they need to draw, they need to show content, they have their own display to show. Okay? And basically is that if you look at the table here, it's only the PowerPoint for the devices. You don't even see any HDMI cable or any other cables involved. Because whenever they want to show content from the laptop to the screen, everything is through wireless. All right, and that's what we're talking about today, in a way that our solution is all about wireless presentation and collaboration. So when the teacher is teaching, this is the interface that he can use it to control and switch content from station to station. And it's just not one way, it can be bi-directional. So that's the whole ideology of having our solution, where first of all, the system is very clean, no cables seen, and it's very easy to set up and easy to expand. Okay? What it means is that even though these two are whiteboard, they are purposely having a whiteboard there because a lot of lecturers, they still find it easier to write on the board. In fact, they don't need to use the whiteboard at all. Because internally, we have our whiteboard, electronic whiteboard already.
Question, because you said it's bi-directional, right? So when the students display, they will annotate, they broadcast back to the lecturer, does it mean it can also broadcast to the rest of the students?
Yes. I'll show it to you later. That's the whole idea.
That's a very good question.
So the students can have different scenarios. Scenario number 1 is that the lecturer will share the station to all the other stations. Second scenario is that I can simply drag this station back to me and I can share to the rest of the 4 stations. Or I can have individual stations dragged back to me, up to 4 devices. So it's a very dynamic and flexible system in a way. And all we talk about here is collaboration. And meaning that if I share to all the station, we can also annotate at the same time. Okay, so we shall show it to you later, but I just want to give you a rough idea of how this is being used.
Okay, good? All right, let's move on. So
Speed up now.
another typical one will be actually the Certif Cisco Training Academy. So this is what we do for them as well. All right. So the last product will be actually the Cygnet Video Bar. So that actually comes with a few technology that we have. Firstly, it comes with the BYOD, which is the one that I told you about, the screen mirroring. And then the next one will be the BYOF, which is the bring your own meeting, which I'm going to tell you more later. And then, of course, I think some of you have actually experienced the sound just now. So it's actually by this manufacturer that we work with, Fonz, which is actually based in Germany, if you Google it. So that's where they actually produce very optimization sound quality. Because Wood Vision, we don't deal with audio. Mostly our products are video. And microphone array will be from us. And of course, cameras will definitely from us. So that's running on a 4K and with the auto framing technology. So wireless screening up to 4 windows, same as the Pure Mini. And then from there itself, BYOM. Okay, BYOM technology is this way. So for example, I actually connect to my, say for example, my Miracast it. So I have actually a Teams on my laptop. So generally, where does your camera come from? Here, right? So with BYOM technology, the camera can be switched to the video bar camera. Alright, so then the camera will be facing like that to the audience, right? So this is what we meant by the technology. Okay. So next one will be actually on the speakers. Speakers we are running on a 2x70 watt speakers. Okay, so that's why it's very powerful. And then from there itself is on the wooden housing, as I mentioned. That's why the optimization is there. And bringing forward, microphone is actually a 7 meters pickup. So it's actually developed by our own brand called Wave. In short, it's a Wood Vision Advanced Voice Processing Engine. And because of the beam forming microphones, it's actually acoustically echo cancellation. Okay, what is beam forming? Anyone knows? Okay, beam forming means, okay, for example, you have two types of microphone in the world. One is the one that is condensed mic. That means usually singer use that. That means the pickup is around the area. All right. Then you have the video conferencing where you use the omnidirectional, where the diameter is much bigger. So beam forming is actually done in such a way that when the product is purchased, the clients will sit around, and then we will do a software change so that the pickup will be directly to them only. So with that, right, then your echo cancellation will be up because you will not have that sound already. So that's what we meant by beam forming. It's a software kind of integration.
It has to be done on the setting.
It's customized. Means to say that if you have a room like what we have, right? So then there will be a software to actually do that for your beam forming.
So if let's say a meeting room, right, we have 4 person on the table, and from time to time they have meeting, there's additional people sit on the side. Is there any way to customize, like let's say first setting, which is 4 person on the table, second setting with the people?
Are you talking about camera or mic?
Mic.
Okay. Mic is all done visibly. That means it's all done over the air, all right? Which you will not notice. So what we does is that for the video bar, the model that we show you, has got 4 internal mics inside built in. So it's based on the chipsets. So what does beam forming means that automatically it gets sense based on the camera tracking that whoever speaks will point the camera to him, and we'll focus a lot of our algorithm on the mics and point to him. Obviously, we can still pick up from the other stocking, but it's just that a lot more level has been pointed to the person, speaker. So in terms of voice clarity, it's clearer than the others. That's what we talk about, auto beam forming. So it has got the intelligence because of the algorithm that we point to the speaker that speaks.
What happens is it's more than 7 meters.
Okay, generally it's just a specs. So it's just a technical specs. Why we set up as 7 meters is because of the pickup range of the mic that we feel is the best effective range. It can be 6, it can be 10. So it's just a technical specs that we feel that the microphone, based on
pickup range.
Yes, the size of the microphone, the capsule, all this is optimal to pick up just within 7 meters.
So of course, say for example, you probably have something that's 8 or 9. Come to us, we can also let you try at a client space lah.
Different space has got different kind of environment where the acoustic is
Before
different.
they make their purchase lah.
So this won't be suitable for those big boardroom, right?
Yeah, it's not designed for big boardroom because of the microphones. Because in other solutions that you can find in the market, they have the capability to allow you to extend microphones. So they can just extend it over USB-C or whatever. Because this is our first model that's launched, we don't support mic extension. All right, but we do aware that, yeah, if you have a bigger room, obviously you need to have a wired mic extension. That's what a lot of brands are doing. Yeah. So we feel safe that it can be just suitable for small and mid-sized room, right? Yeah, up to 7 meters range. And because of the camera as well, if you look at other bars or other camera bar, they always have a specs called point of view, POV. POV means that from the camera itself, you can extend to how wide it is. So if this is a group of people, ours can do up to 110 degrees. Some do 90 degrees, some do 120. So it depends on how big is the crowd also. Right? So it's just a form of technical specification.
Next will be on the camera as what Gary have said, 110 field of view, all right? And 4K cameras, and of course it's auto frame. Auto frame means to say that when you speak, the camera will face you, or auto tracking.
Can disable, right?
Auto framing, yes, can be disabled. Yeah, right, Gary?
All right, so our camera can be set up as auto framing or manual. So you can do pan tilt zoom and then save as a preset. So we allow you to save as 3 different presets. All right, we should also have supported. We also have supported the auto speaker tracking. It means we track where the speaker is. But this currently has been removed because we want to do on framing first. Framing means that whoever speaks, it will be roughly that crowd, and then we will point to that crowd. This is what we call framing. So we frame to those people near him as well, so that the fine can just focus on looking at him.
Okay, to answer your questions. Next. So this is how it look like. So it can be mounted like this if you want. And last but not least, the customers that have been using our products all around the world. Okay. That is all for me. Thank you.
Okay, I think we spent quite a bit of time on the slides where, you know, the whole idea here is that we want you to see live in action. Because seeing is believing. The slide is just one of the material that we have. But I would rather focus a lot on the practical, which means that you can see what we have specified as. So first of all, I will not use this main screen first. All right? I just want you to focus on the side screen where we have a different model, which is the Core Pro. Why I want to show you screen is because I want to show you in aspect about, if you look at our models of silent, can you put up the PDF of the models?
Oh, PDF. Okay.
Or the slides that shows all the model.
Okay, can. Give me a minute.
So I want to go through with you all our different feature set, which is very important for you to know, right? Larry will put up a feature set of all the different models and which model can support whichever function. So regardless of what kind of model you use, all right, we always recommend you to use your interactive screen. Why? It's because our UI, our user interface is based on touch. With the touch, you can do functions. That's why it's better for you to interact with a touch screen. And nowadays, touch screen is not expensive. If not, you have to use either our app or you have to connect with the mouse and keyboard to control, which is not very professional, right? Have you seen the slide yet? You know which one? Where's your? No, this is the wrong unit. go to the slides. So Larry's laptop will show you the slides that we used just now. And as you can see, the way he connects up to the screen, wireless. Okay. I can also connect my screen content.
Visualizer.
Gary, this visualizer.
This is also
requirement together.
Yeah.
This is also visualizer.
What's the difference between this?
I will explain to you later, but let's focus on the sign up first. Okay, so how do we know what to use? All right. So as you can see on the column there, we have different models. Basic entry is the pure mini. Obviously, this is a very small unit, a handy unit. It's good for sales. So we can actually bring along, just put in the pocket. You've got to do presentation at the customer's place. Show me the box and stuff. Yeah. This is the mini. You can see that you can put in a pocket and travel around. So with this mini, you can just connect to the screen using HDMI cable. And what you can do, you can actually present your content from the laptop to the screen wirelessly. So Larry has connected the Windows laptop to the screen wirelessly. And this is what is called Miracast. I'm using a MacBook. I can likewise do the same as long as I join the network and do a mirror. With the mirroring, I can select whichever device I want to connect in this room. So let's, for example, this is a left channel. I can just connect the left. And whenever you connect, there'll be a pin indicate, right? So what's the pin for? It's for you to connect only when you're in the room. If somebody is outside the room, he's trying to intrude into our session, he cannot because he cannot see the pin. So now I'm already in, and I can just start mirror. Wireless. You don't need to do any dongle, you don't need any HDMI connection, you don't even need to install any software. And this is called AirPlay, because it's an Apple device. Likewise, I can just use my phone or my iPad. I can just scroll down, mirror, and I can do the same to the screen, which is the left. Take a while. The pin, 4618, this is the fixed pin. You can always set up as a dynamic pin. It will change every 10 minutes for security purpose. So now, my screen should be up here. Wireless. Takes you a few seconds, not even a minute. And you don't need to install anything. So this is what we call as AirPlay because it's from Apple. Windows or Android devices, they use Miracast. So AirPlay and Miracast is just a form of wireless mirroring protocol. It's just a standard. Okay? From the same computer, I can go in and open up a web browser. Just follow my mouse here. I can do a cast. So when I do a cast, I select whichever device I want, and I can do the cast straight away. Okay. So I can scan the network such that which are the devices online, I can just do a cast. And when I do a cast, it's meaning that I can do a Chromecast. Okay. So I can just show you by the training room set. Okay, and it's now shown on my unit here, on the main unit, cast device. And I can just select a source, possibly. Does it work? It should be working, but I'm not sure why it's not blank. But it's casting basically my laptop content onto the screen here. So this is what I want to show you as the three different protocols, which is AirPlay, Miracast, Chromecast. So we term these devices as BYOD, bring your own device. And this is very commonly now being used in all the meeting rooms because everything is so convenient that you can just bring in without any cables. Question? So this is our basic function of, oh, this noise is very irritating. This is our basic function of all the different modes. The next function that we have is basically just touch the screen, you can do a whiteboard. Because you're presenting, right? Sometimes you need to write. So I can use a whiteboard. And when I write, I can only write within the whiteboard. Now if I want to write on outside the whiteboard, I can just touch the screen again, do a pen here. Now I can write over here. This is a function of the whiteboard in addition. That's why from this picture just now, we don't even need to install a whiteboard externally. Okay? Next, we can also do File Explorer in a way. So meaning that if let's say you want to present, but you don't have a laptop with you, you can just connect with a USB thumb drive, or you can just search from your thumb drive. If the content is inside there, I just press the USB, Vision, or I can do a Vision USB here. If I have my document inside there, I can just press the document PDF, just put up. So this is my document. I can zoom in, zoom out, switch the page. I can even put onto full screen mode. Start to present. Alright, so you can call up any of the PDF, Excel, Word, any PowerPoint you want to present. Meaning that I don't even need a laptop as long as I have a thumb drive. I don't even need my thumb drive if I have a cloud drive. So anytime you present, you just touch the screen, you need to write on the content, press the button. Now you can highlight here, select color, highlight here. Whatever you have written, you can exit and you can allow it to save as a file. So you can take a snapshot and that file will be saved inside your internal drive as a snapshot. So this is the file save. You can always copy the files to your USB or to a NAS. So in my office, I have a NAS. I can always push the file back to my NAS. So different presenter that comes into the room can have the file and annotation file saved into a specific NAS or a server. So we are able to archive whatever is being presented. Okay? Then we can also do conferencing. Obviously, this box can be interfaced with a camera and a microphone. As long as a USB or HDMI, you can use it as a source. And that camera source, maybe a third-party camera, you can open up as a window and it's a content. So later on, I can just start a Teams call or Zoom call using the same camera. Okay? So when I want to share my Teams call with a content I want to show to the far end, any of this open window can be shared to the far end during the call.
Drop and drag.
Oh, must be open content. Inside the folder cannot.
No.
Drop and drag also.
This we are sharing a silent open content.
Move the thing to.
It can be just one of this window, or it can be the whole desktop that's currently shown. The far end can see.
To another
So
screen.
now I have started a call, yes, to another party person. So I can start a call now immediately by pressing a meet now. Okay? So I can meet now, or I can call somebody else. So maybe I call myself. All right, I just call Gary myself. I just press a video call. No, it's an audio call. Let me leave the room first. Press the room.
You know, you don't have camera.
SG.
Yeah, I didn't everything in the camera here. It doesn't matter. I want to show you how we share. Okay? Just give me a few seconds. Another few seconds. So I'll call my mobile and I'll show you when we're sharing. So I just have to mute my mic. Sorry. So those that I've touched base on has shown as an icon. So from this chart here, you can tell which model supports which function. Obviously, this is the cheapest and this is the highest end. This is way more expensive. So let's do a call again. I'll just do a video call myself.
So in the very beginning, if you doesn't know what to share with your clients, right? So you can bring us along to your client, and then we will share with them. We get a requirement, and then we'll pass to you. Right? Because sometimes it's real.
So this account has been calling me now, which is just a sec. Just mute the mic. Okay. So now the call is on already. Alright, you should see yourself as a camera. Alright, turn on the camera. Okay, so on my end here, this is my camera. This one should be this camera. Okay, now I can just share the button here. Just like how you use from a laptop, share screen. So when I share screen, you notice that there will be a pop-up menu here.
If it's just a direct input, any panel will do. But of course, they will say we will require a touchscreen. Easy to use, you see. Yeah. But you're going to use, like, example, we are using LG. So it could be LG, Samsung, whatever.
As long as it's interactive.
Interactive.
The connection is what? HDMI and
HDMI only. And the USB connected.
The system is not
machine.
behaving well today.
Touchscreen.
刚才看到都出来。
对对，应该。
It doesn't matter.
那个是 Logitech.
It doesn't matter because we only use because your screen is just to show only. So we are not going to use Windows